This debate was always there, that having a soul, invited in the Indian environment will be better perhaps. This was the conception we had in mind. But many years later, in 2000 or so, I asked my Guruji, what is the real truth? The place of conception, time of conception, place of birth or time of birth, this astrology part of it. He said, none of this. When I see the trajectory of lives of people, actual trajectory of people who are meditating. For example, my classmates. I started meditation while I was in third year of pharmacy in Ahmedabad. Started in 1976. Some of my friends, my classmates, and my juniors and my seniors and professors, they all started. Right? And when you see those who continued meditation and those who don't meditate at all, when you see their position today and those who don't meditate or didn't meditate, their lifestyle, some of them are very successful, those who didn't meditate also. But when you see their children, then you say, oh, I wish I was also meditating. They'll regret, why did I do this? Now I have this idiot in my life. They regret it so much. They can't do anything. Because your lifestyle was not in sync from the day one. And you have brought in another soul in your life. You can't manage that person. It can be disastrous. So, if somebody wants to really harmonize family life, even before soul enters your life, another child in your life, one has to meditate before that, because the field that you create as father and mother, that attracts the soul that matches that field. If at the moment of conception the couple is huffing and puffing and mating like in tamasic way, then the field that is created also attracts a soul of that caliber, of that resonance. And if you are being together with reverence, with love, respect for each other, then the soul one attracts is of a different caliber altogether. So I highly recommend couples, especially before even marriage, start meditation, so that you are creating a field. Afterward, it's too late. Because meditation creates a kind of attitude. It creates an environment inside. Wherever you go, you carry that field with you. I stayed in New York almost for 30 years doing pharmacy business. And main topic in earlier days, in the 80s, since we were newly married then, we'll talk about where to have children conceived. So do you go to India for honeymoon, or stay put in the US or go to Europe? This debate was always there, that having a soul, invited in the Indian environment will be better perhaps. This was the conception we had in mind. But many years later, in 2000 or so, I asked my Guruji, what is the real truth? The place of conception, time of conception, place of birth or time of birth, this astrology part of it. He said, none of this. And that came as a shock to me, because you are so moved by this astrology and things. It is okay to some extent, physiologically. For example, lunar effect. Some people go crazy, that's why they call them lunatic, because of the lunar impact, right? And the water rises, high tide, low tide. And since we have 70% water in our system, it also affects us tremendously, but at a physiological level. Okay. Then I asked him, what if place is not important, time is not important, then what is important? Is it at the moment of conception, what determines is the attitude of couple. Based on that attitude, but then I asked another question, so that moment is so potent, you even forget everything. You forget God also. Some people turn the photo around and say, not now, see. They want to forget God, thinking while making love, it is animalistic and it's not good. Then you're making a mistake. Let God be the witness at that time. There is nothing profane about it.